What up, YouTube? It's your boy Atruckernamedjay checking in, man. On my way to work. You already know what time it is. Local gang stand up. Anyways, hey, guilty. I need a local gang shirt, dog. Matter of fact, I'm gonna make my own. Everybody else doing t-shirts. I might as well do some too, right? But anyways, mine gonna be 4X though. Anyways, I'm off track. So yeah, check this out, man. I have made a decision, and I think most people already knew this decision before I even, uttered it out of my mouth. But I have made a decision about my trucking career, about what I will never do in my trucking career, and I'm gonna stand by it no matter what. I've come to a point in my trucking career where I feel like OTR is no longer necessary to do what I want to do. I got about 2.5 years experience, starting to get closer to the 3 years versus the half mark. I do believe that I should be able to stay at MBI until 3 year at the 3 year point. I see no reason why I wouldn't be. That being said, with the amount of experience that I have, I'm kind of leaning because I'm going into this curve. With the amount of experience that I have, the knowledge that I have, I just don't see where being on the road is necessary. You know what I mean? Like, when you do the local versus OTR comparison, like when you really break it down and you go into like tick for tack, in my opinion, let me you gotta, everything is so politically correct these fucking days. You can't say, it's so funny because you can't say anything about somebody else's position, but they can talk all the shit they want about yours, but we're gonna leave that be. But in my opinion, does OTR make more than local when it comes to why I don't want to go back OTR? Because it's not about the money. It's just not. I'm not going to say money isn't everything, but I'm just going to say that the difference in money between OTR and local, and we're comparing company driver to company driver and owner-operator to owner-operator. I don't give a fuck how far away he drive from his house. He's a local, you know what I'm saying? If he's staying within a 100-mile radius, he's local. Or 200-mile radius, he's local. If he's home every night, he's local. Give fuck nobody say. Y'all can come up with all the little, he's just choosing to drive. I don't give a fuck. If he's home every night, he's local. Let's dead all that shit. A lot of times in trucking, what you'll find is truck drivers will change the narrative of what they feel like a certain position does so that they can flip it in a conversation to agree with their point. Trust me, it's done all the time on and off YouTube. So we gonna get that shit out the way. OTR is that you're not fucking home. Local is that you're home. It's just that simple. So when you compare company to company, owner-operator, I just don't see that much of a difference in the amount of money that you can make. OTR, and by definition, I say OTR is gone for 4 weeks. If you just doing a loop around and you're gone for a week and back, or a week and a half, that's not OTR to me. So let's put that out there, because you gotta be specific, because it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of definitions in trucking that we aren't specific on, so people are allowed to loosely use it to better their argument. When you put a clear definition of what you believe OTR and local is, and owner operator and company driver, then it's easier to be specific in your argument when having this type of debate or conversation. So, that being said, fam, I'm cutting you off. As far as why I'll never go OTR again, I just don't see the big gap that I guess that everyone else sees when it comes to over the road and local. I truly and honestly believe that the money that they say all these OTR drivers are making, this big gap in money. I'm about to hit y'all. Get out the way. This big gap in money that y'all are saying that exists between OTR and local does not exist. I've seen too much. I've seen too many settlements. This isn't me just shooting off the side of the hip and just going off of a couple of comments on my YouTube or one or two conversations I may have had. This is me talking to several drivers, LTL drivers, trash haulers, owner operators in the port, owner operators that pull wood out here for Ezel, like just different sources. There's not that big of a money gap between OTR and local in this area. Now, if you're in a different area where it may not be good freight or all that other shit, or however the fuck y'all do that shit, like it may be a little bit different from. But here in this area, there's too much money in a 100-mile radius for me to feel like I have to go drive 1,200 miles away from home, or 2,000 miles away from home to make a decent paycheck. I just don't see it. I just don't see that. Also, it also depends on your definition of currency, because if I want to get deep with it, time is the only true currency in life. You can make $1 back. You can buy another truck. You can do whatever. Once time is gone, you cannot replace that. And that's the one thing you cannot replace in this world. So 10 years from now, if you still OTR, or 5 years from now, if you still OTR, yeah, you finally home, but you finally coming back to enjoy the things that I've been enjoying for 3 years. You missing time with your family. I just don't understand how people can consistently do that shit, man. Knowing that there's money home. Once you get the 2-3 years experience, man, there's really no excuse for you not to be home if you got a family, a wife and son. And these are my opinions. I know people are going to take this the wrong way, but I'm to the point now, I don't give a fuck, because everybody else gets to speak on their situation and down everybody else's. I'm going to do my best not to down it, but I'm going to speak on my situation. I cannot imagine at this point getting in a truck and being gone away from my wife, son, friends, and family for a month to a month and a half to 3.5. What? I can't. How? And I get it. Don't get me wrong. Local isn't always gravy. Like, dealing with the people in your life isn't always a cakewalk. But the idea is that you outweigh the negative memories with the positive ones. Of course your family gonna get on your nerves sometimes. Of course there's gonna be some times where it's like, oh man, I can't stand these people. But that should not outweigh the situation where you love being around them. We take the negative in our life and we times it by 10 to make it fit a decision that we want to make. So like, for example, your wife pissed you off, so now you use that, I'm gonna go on the road. When really, if you just had a conversation with her or whatever the situation may be and deal with the problem, that's the shit I used to that's the shit I used to deal with as an OTR driver. Instead of dealing with the issues that were going on in my everyday life, I would just get on the truck and leave for a month. Leave for 2 months. Like, fuck it. Just not caring. I was running. That was me. You know what I'm saying? But that don't have to be your situation. If you're mature enough to handle your problems and deal with them head on, you don't have to run from them. As far as money goes, everybody thinks that everybody in the world got a car payment, all these bills. That's not the case with everybody. It's possible, like, OTR drivers aren't the only one who are able to be financially mature with their money. You can do that local and save just as much money as you would being on the road. It's all about discipline. See, the thing about OTR that differs from local, OTR is easier to do certain things. It's easier to save your money, OTR. It's easier to get where you're trying to get to, supposedly faster, OTR, because you're less likely to do the things that you would local because you're not exposed to them as much. But if you are disciplined, it don't matter what you're doing. If you have a plan, you discipline and you execute, you're not going to spend the money. You're not going to go do this, that, and the third. And that's where I'm at with it, man. My eyes have just been opened. And for me, it's just like, yo, what was I running from? I came home, I fixed 95% of the issues that are going on, or I'm dealing with 95% of the issues that is going on in my household, my health, my financial well-being, all those things. Now it's just like, yo, life is a breeze. The 5% is dealing with the company that I work for. But that goes back to a point I made on a previous video. The problem for me isn't being local, it's being company. I want my own truck, but that comes with time. You don't go from A to B overnight. I'm not going to go from company to owner-operator overnight. But while I am here, whether that's a year, 2 years, or 3 years, I'm going to make the best of the situation. I'm going to deal with it. I'm going to let it mold me, and I'm just going to get better. That's simple. No different than if I was OTR. No different. Except I just get to go home, sleep in my bed every night. You know what I mean? So it's just like, man, I can never see myself going back OTR, because I just feel like I'm at a point in my life where instead of running from my problems, I deal with them. Instead of chasing the extra couple of dollars that I can make OTR, I just find ways locally where I don't have to spend as much and I make the same money. Because a lot of times, a lot of OTR drivers, now we ain't gonna get into that because I don't want to expose no people. Let's just say it like this. Cats will give you all kinds of numbers. You need to be very specific in the numbers that they're giving you. You need to make sure, ask them, are they giving you the revenue, which is their check before anything comes out? Are they giving you the before the business expenses come, after the business expenses come out? And are they giving you the check after business expenses and taxes come out? There's a lot of different things that go into that, whether it's company or owner operator. A lot of different things. See, local guys, what I've noticed, when local guys say, we have no problem saying, oh yeah, man, we make $1,200 to $1,500, $1,200 to $1,400 after taxes. But when I talk, every time I see, and this isn't nitpicking, this is just from conversations that I had. When you talk to an over the road with the owner operator company driver, they just want to tell you, oh, I made $1,700. I made $37,000. But they don't tell you after expenses and this and this and this how much they made. Think about it. I'm just saying, man. Like I said, I ain't. This ain't no witch hunt. This ain't me going after OTR drivers. It's just me giving my perception of why I'll never return to the OTR realm, the being away for 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks at a time. When I am fortunate enough to get a truck in my possession and reestablish my business, I just can't see me being gone longer than a week and a half, 2 weeks. Because that's what works for me, man. And I feel like as long as you find something that works for you, and you willing to put in the work, and you willing to put in the time, why do anything you don't want to do? I just said that in a previous video. Do it the way you want to do it, and don't let nobody tell you otherwise. Or you could be out here jumping around from company to company, OTR like I was, because you're not really happy, because you're not really doing what you want to do. You can always tell the swagger in someone who's doing what they're being forced to do and doing what they want to do is completely different. They walk different, they act different, they talk different. The way they carry themselves is different. Just saying, man. But I'm about to go to work, man. You know what I mean? I gotta go clock in for massa and all that. You know what I'm talking about? So as always, man, stay safe, stay positive, stay productive. God Family Trucking, we out.